नमस्कार आपण समस्त को आम यूट्यूब चैनल लर्निंग एकेडमी स्वागत एवं आज भिडियो आम आलोचना करवा आपण मान सेकेंड सेमिस्टर प्रैक्टिकल रेकर्ड अबाउट रे कैरी फॉरवर्ड एक्टिविटी रेकर्ड उपर आज आम आलोचना करवा। तेणु समस्त भिडियो प्रथम शेष पर्यंत देखूँ एवं जो डिटेल्स उपर आज आम आलोचना करवा जहाँ सब लेखा अच्छे आलोचना करे आप निज प्रैक्टिकल खाता लिखिपारे। यह हूँ आचार्य नागार्जुन यूनिवर्सिटी, आंध्रा यूनिवर्सिटी, योगीवेना यूनिवर्सिटी, रॉयलसीमा यूनिवर्सिटी, विक्रमसिंहपुर यूनिवर्सिटी एवं B.Ed आंबेडकर यूनिवर्सिटी सेम्स प्रैक्टिकल रेकर्ड हेडिंग सब हेडिंग तक ब्लू कलम आपंकर ब्लैक कलम लिखे, ब्लू कलम डेस्क्रिप्शन लिखे और एक्टिविटी गुड़ाक चेंज चांज कर लिखे। मोर एक्टिविटी 1 को आप एक्टिविटी 2, 3, 4, 5 यहीपर हिसाब से लिखे। तेणु चलो देखा कौन रही कैरी फॉरवर्ड एक्टिविटी रेकर्ड देखो ऑलरेडी फास्ट सेमिस्टर सब्जेक्ट गुड़ा लिखा। तेणु फिलोसफिकल फाउंडेशन एजुकेशन एक्टिविटी 1 लिखाई। यहाँ ओनली सेकेंड सेमिस्टर प्रैक्टिकल रेकर्ड विजिट ए नियर बाय स्कूल अंडर डिफरेंट मैनेजमेंट्स एंड डिस्क्राइब द फंक्शन ऑफ द स्कूल सेटा हेडिंग ब्लैक कलम रे एवं मैनेजमेंट ऑफ एजुकेशन टाइप्स ऑफ स्कूल ऑल भी ब्लैक कलम लिखिबे एवं विथ द एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ द रिस्पांसिबिलिटी ऑफ पब्लिक एजुकेशन बाय द स्टेट देयर हैज बीन ए रेडिकल चेंज इन द मैटर ऑफ एजुकेशनल मैनेजमेंट प्राइवेट पब्लिक लोकल अथॉरिटी इट्स वेरियस गवर्नमेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आर एक्टिविटी एंगेज्ड इन कैरी ऑन एजुकेशन फंक्शन इन द कंट्री। इन इंडिया द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज इन रिप्रेजेंट ऑफ एडवांस research, technical education, coordination, educational facilities and developing a model school all over the country. The state government have responsibility of explanation as well as incorporate of educational ranging from privacy to higher education. The function of the central government in school education may be classified into 4 categories. The central acts the clearing agency in respect of elementary secondary educations एवं देखिबा तापर कोन रही आपनकर ये सब फास्ट पेज गलापर आपर सेकेंड पेज ऊपर देखिए कौन लिखा अच्छी देखो ये भी समस्त जिनस लिखाई स्कूल अंडर डिफरेंट मैनेजमेंट सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट लोकल बॉडी स्कूल प्राइवेट एडेड स्कूल प्राइवेट अनएडेड स्कूल एवं तापर देखिए कौन लिखा अच्छी ना स्कूल रनिंग बाय ऑटोनोमस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। तेणु एपटे देखूँ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट डायरेक्ट नवोदय विद्यालय, सैन्य स्कूल, सेंट्रल स्कूल, नेशनल ओपन स्कूल KVS एवं लोकल स्कूल गुड़ी हूँ मंडल, म्युनिसिपल, जिला परिषद, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अच्छी, प्राइवेट स्कूल अच्छी, प्राइवेट अनएडेड मिशनरी स्कूल एवं जदि प्राइवेट देखिए गोटे लिंग्विस्टिक माइनॉरिटी स्कूल जोटा कि इंडस्ट्रियल स्कूल, ऑटोमेटिकल एनर्जी कमिशन स्कूल एवं देखिए तापर देखिए कौन लिखा अदर्स रेडियल स्कूल, स्कूल रन्स बाय एक्ट ऑफ ऑटोनोमस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन like residential school run by the AP residential educational society एवं residential school run by the SC/ST corporation। तेणु यहीपर भाव में लेखा आपण लिखे एवं तापर देखिए थर्ड पेज रे कौन लिखा अच्छी देखो ये ऑलरेडी संपूर्ण भाव में लिखाई इट इम्प्लीमेंट्स द प्रोग्राम ऑफ इंसर्वियल ट्रेनिंग रिसर्च सर्वेज इन द फील्ड ऑफ एजुकेशन इंक्लूडिंग द टीचर एजुकेशनल। इट स्टार्ट्स ए नंबर ऑफ project and cross programs which are generally carried out extensively by state. It increases to let out the difference existing between the different status in respect of elementary education and to provide the equality of educational opportunity to every child. It is useful to know the background of the role of central government in educational. It may be stated that between the 1833 and 1870 education was center. However, the education to have a certain suppressing power revenue elementary educational as well as whole. In 1921 government of India itself all of the above the most of the educational activities including the elementary and education. In 1935 it again evinced interest education and content extended its assistance. Navodaya Vidyalaya it presence of national policy of education 1986 the government of India has launched a scheme of called Navodaya Vidyalaya schemes to all the alter education of children with a special talented and given them opportunity and environment to progress a faster rate than the pass of irrespective of their economic constitution. The scheme of the aims that setting upon a residential school in every district of the country. These Vidyalayas are residential institutions having a separate hostels for the boys and girls, educational entries including lodging and boarding and uniform and stationery. This is Vidyalaya is prepared for the secondary a school made only the level of class VI as almost the students as so mightly have studied through the medium of their mother tongue or the regional longitudinal instruction. JNVS would be prepared through the same medium of class VI and VII. During this time, the intensive teaching of Hindi, English, both language subjected, and co-medical was also undertaken. Thereafter, the common medium would be English, Hindi. All the Navodaya Vidyalaya objectives of the same to promote the national integration through a specific program of education to nurture talented partially in the rural areas, weaker section society, to make a quality education accessible to talented children of their total development, to establish the institution of higher quality level, the would serve the pure settlement modality, stimulated the pursuit of excellence in the institution in neighborhood. No number of Vidyalayas at present 389 Navodaya Vidyalaya 389 functioning in the country, and others are present of under 22 389 Navodaya Vidyalayas. Criticism against the scheme in this article: the primary education some flaws in planning. V.R. Krishna Jair critical Navodaya school are as elite schools. He further says that the common manners are magnified than guilt assumes exists in the sold Navodaya Vidyalaya schools. Each villages in phases often used the common humanity. Each district will have model schools. Central school are established especially to meet the educational needs of employees, and Andhra government also go on transport to different parts of country. Central schools are affiliated to the Central Board Secondary Education BSc, and these schools are the fully head schools and spread over the country. Outside the country, here the medium of instruction in Hindi and English. In Salem there are a provisional to law of religions language also admission criteria. Children a defense person working in the area, children on under government organization performance will be given to the children of the defense person. Those schools are established with all facilities including the residential school in the regimental center of defense areas. Most of the schools are established in the big cities where a large number of central being looked after. The Kendriya Vidyalaya KVS has a headquarters at New Delhi. Sainika schools are revised the establishment by the defense ministry in different parts of the country. The school provided the vocational education as in the country of their curriculum. These schools are affiliated to CBSE New Delhi. Objective was to encourage the children to join the in defense force, right a kind of physical, psychological or emotional capability to mold them as a responsibility citizens, to prepare them to serve the country as useful citizen. And admission process 15% of the seats are reversed for children SC community, 7.5 of the total seats ST, 25% of seats for the children of ex-army personnel. Rest are the open rural talented children in our state. There is one Sainika school at the Korakonda National Open School Public School. The concept of public school is colonial, is nature aiming at providing educational to children. There were not the research of the common man. 1856 the Vishnu Cotton schools, the first public schools, was established by the British government in Simula. The Bishop Cotton schools laid down the foundation of further the public schools in Jaipur, Hyderabad, Delhi. Public schools criticism against the public school are totally meant for rich up and upper classes by the society good educations instead of the being to available to all children of at least to all of the able to talented children from every section at society in available in only to a small minority who have to go to capacity to pay. Economically privileged people are encouraged to buy education for their children by the segregation their children. Such privileged parents prevent their children from sharing and experiencing the ridicule of life. Kothari Commission, while pointing out the diametrically public school concept examination, whatever its past of the history may be, such as a system has no valid place in the new democratic and social society. The role of the state government according to the constitution, the principal agency to prepare the implement educational plans and programs school education. Therefore the essentially responsibility the state government with only two reservation: the role of assigned to the federal government on the hand of the responsibility by may delay to the local authorities. NCERT 1969 436 has observed in a practice there is a role of the nature responsibility for elementary education directly at the other extremely are the statistics like the Marshals Rajasthan of AP who have transferred very large powers of over elementary education to local bodies. At present, the real initiative and primary responsibility for explanation and improvement of schools education life lie with the states in spite of a large number of differences existing the structure of standardized of education. The state government are discharge their responsibilities in the following broad direction. The state government provide the financial resources required for school education. All logistic for a school education are being enhanced by individuals states. The state's government provided training facilities both preservative and in service for the teacher এবং training the teacher preparation of school syllabus being a curriculum including the textbook এবং the rule and regulation the examinal are do not by state simultaneously approaches the according the service are provided by the state government for education institution office committee appointed by the government এবং তারপর দেখিবা কোন আছে না in 1957 another committee under the chairmanship the Malaysian mental was set up to review the community development program and the local initiative field of the development would not be adequate involved unless a single representative by vigorous democratic institution answers all the aspects of development work in the rural areas and invested of all adequating power of the adaptive such a body said to the committee must not be crowned by too much growth received guidance will be helped to avoid making mistakes. Mr. J.P. Nag NCERT has completely spelled through the essential condition for successfully the first to educate the non-local office leader the realized responsibility properly to adjust themselves by the system to proper realistic executive the secondary into a transition executive itself it's the democratic function and to make a realize the third hand এবং the provided independent manner under the state government coordination of educational activities by the different ancient local bodies there is their role historically in India devotion of education administration to the local authorities has spanned through the many of ups and downs since 1812 when the Indian Education Commission first proposed a transfer of primary education to local control a period of on the controversy started over the issues between the 1918 and 1926 when the admission of primary educational were being largely the error to local bodies under the the committees set up under the criminal ships of the BG Kher recommended delaying delegation of power and responsible for primary educations. Recommendation of the Kothari Commission as regarded the role of the function the local activities significant recommendation of the Kothari Commission are as follows the democratic centralized should not be as an end itself is implemented immediately and universities uniformly without reservation to a local condition the ultimate goal of reached is establishment of district level of a competent local education authority which may be designed districts below the university level the transferation permission immediate to the ultimate object so cannot be made in one of the but you will have to proceed through a number of carefully phonetic status এবং adequate the safeguards should be provided to ensure that the teachers are not harassed and that they do not have involved in the local political factions experience has shown that for their purpose it is necessary to waste a control over the teachers it is not enough to discerned the administrative reaction education of education it is the local authority the program will not succeed on unless the intensive steps are taken to educate the local leadership on the right line visited the nearby schools when I visited the Naidupeta village to know the function of the schools I observed that is the village of their orphan in school and one of the MPP school orphan school is village in Naidupeta schools environment schools is outside of the village schools environment is very pleasant schools history the schools was established by the father Philip Sam sir the schools is established in the year of 1980 till now the schools is running successfully school strength or area is local 100 unit school strength of the total students are 26 teaching staff there are the 2 teachers in the schools are there the sister Mariam and sister Anela schools function there are the providing free boarding and enlarging facilities they are the providing free education books and uniform the conduct the curricular and the co-curricular co-curricular activities for the children. Conclusion, the school provided the free education and giving the shutters also provided the hostel facilities per upon they are giving a good citizen for the coming society of the country. MPP school village is Naidpeta school environment is located beside the highway road. It is located in under the village. The school environment is very noisy. The school booking I have school history. It was establishment in the year of 1987. School area is zoned. School strength, total student strength 40%. The classroom first to fifth classes are run by in this school. The school classified the students details: class girls, class number of boys, total strength, first class, second class, third class, 6 3 4 5 5 3 4 4 11 6 6 8 9 এবং দেখুন ফিফ্থ ক্লাস 4 to 6 40 টোটাল 22 প্লস 18 ইকুয়াল টু 40 আর টিচিং স্টাফ আচান দ্য হেডকোয়ার্টার বেবি রানী ইজ ওয়ার্কিং ইন দ্য স্কুলস and here the qualification is BSc B.Ed after teacher. The similar BA B.Ed is working. School timing is 8:45 to 4 am to 4:45 p 4:14 pm. School facility, there is a one classroom, there is a special ground for the children to play a game. There are water facility like humanship, there are the toilet facilities. School functioning, they providing books, uniform, midday meal according to their academic calendar. They are meaning that classes to achieving the academic of the school. They also the conducting parent teacher meeting every month. They are providing the ratio program for children to improve their knowledge. They giving the student for the curricular and co-curricular activities, games, dance, music. Conclusion, government schools providing education, यूनिफॉर्म मिड डे मिल प्रोग्राम एजुकेशनल ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स. तेणु देखा तापर रही एक्टिविटी 1 जोटा कि कहते ICT फॉर एनर्जी टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग जोटा कैरी फॉरवर्ड एक्टिविटी. यूज वेरियस विजुअल एड्स इन द क्लासरूम. दर इफेक्टिवनेस ऑन learning student. visual aids in subject picture that they related to being thought. The types of visual aids: the actual object, models, pictures, photographs, graphs, maps, tables, diagrams. So object the use of object of visual aids involve the bringing the actual object to demonstrate on during the speech. For example, a speech about the typical would be more effective by bringing in graphs, pie graphs and scatter plots. In graphs, pi helps the students to visualize statistics so that they make a greater impact than adjusting them verbally would. Even graph can be easily become a latent during use in a speech by including too much detail overwhelming audience and the making graph ineffective. Maps show the geographical areas are interest to the speech. They often are used to aid when the speaking of differences between the geographical areas, showing the location of some things. When the maps are simple and clear, they can be used to effective make about the certain areas. Example, a map showing the building sites for a new hospitals could be so it's a lose of action to neighborhood, or a map could be so differences in distribution. Its victim is not American and African countries. Tables are columns and rows and organisms, words, symbols and or data. Good tables are easy to understand. They are a good way to compare the facts to gain better overall the standing of a topic being discussed. Example, a table is a good choice to less when the comparing the amount of rainfall 3 countries each month. Tables are not a very interesting or pleasing the well. Tables can be visual distraction in arts to rebels writing a close together. Photograph picture are used to good tools to make emphasize a point of explanation topic. When explanation saintly towns their words country, it would be beneficial better the picture of your showed a reader of a better understanding of how those people live. Using floral photos can also help emphasize how your topic the important the audience in area. Drawing or a diagram can be used. Photographs do not exactly without a speaker wants to show or explain. It could also the use when the photographer it is too detailed. A drawing a diagrams of a detailed factor system, it is not drawn correctly. Drawing can look ineffective. This type of drawing will appear unprofessional. And some of visual aids of the media: chalkboard or whiteboard, and poster board, projection equipment, hands out, computer assigned video experts. এবং effectiveness कौन ना teacher can make a necessary modifications of the availability of materials and design new materials that fit to method instruction. I was able to attend a seminar with colleges on session planning and the teaching methodology. The set of seminar, it was introduction to writing and learning objective, incorporating the accidental degrees behavioral and condition. The importance of a visual aids has to be explained to show its action. The best of use supplemental tool in the teaching learning process. When a visual aids to appropriate chosen and designed, they can enhance the effective learning based experience and effective instruction. Detail, the visual aids are carefully can also so used to ensure that they essentially help to contain and deliver rather than the obstruction in understanding the content material. Conclusion hochi kono na, here I concluded that the various visual aids, objective models, photographs, graphs, maps, tables, drawing and the sum of visual aids media are chalkboard, poster board, projection equipment, computer assisted and their effectiveness. এবং ଦେଖିବା ତାପରେ କ'ଣ ଅଛି activity observe a analysis classroom introduction and repeat the chemical classrooms are a room where class are taught in school, colleges or university. Classroom interaction describe the form and content of behavioral or social interaction. Each classroom in a particular research gender classrooms race in education be examined in the relationship between the teacher and students in the classroom. A variety of methods have been who investigate the amount of types of teacher times reversed by different group of students. Tables are not very interesting and pleasing to the eye. Tables can be visualized. The distraction of it hard bit to the read because the point is too small, reading is too clear together. Photographs are good tools to make or exhibit a point or explain a topic. For example, when the explain the short list ending town is a third world country, it would be the beneficial to show a picture of one so reader can have a better understand of how those people living use a local. Photos can also be emphasized your topic important in area. Their drawings or diagrams can be used to when the photograph not show exactly what the speaker wants to show. The explanation could also be used to the photograph. It is too detailed. For example, a drawing or diagram of the circulatory classroom climate is a classroom environmental social climate, the emotional physical aspects of the classrooms. It is that teachers influence the students or growth behavior and the students behavior affect the peer interaction. The responsibility influencing the behavioral is placed in the instructor. The teacher should learn to the guide to their student to alienate them. The safety of the students well being is a paramount. Their development of a social ties with paper and their instructor. As educational becomes more inclusive, teacher needed to become a more awareness how to organize a groups of students and how to the students arranged can lead to a favorite environment. Student with a special education needs a sensation. Teachers takes to feel more excluding from the other students in the room. Same students, including those who learning different students to have disadvantages, are more inclined to participate as they feel more they like belonging to abilities. Even classrooms dynamics involve the interaction between the students and the teachers in a classroom community. The prepare of a studying classroom and dynamics learning how to set up a positive classrooms atmosphere here where the student feel the community with others discipline. Every students classrooms needs a behavioral code to maintain the order. The students will never feel the classrooms comfortable to experts to marshal the classrooms without the roles. Teachers should inform the students for the beginning of the class whatever the behavior motivation. Some students are not naturally motivated to learner with their constriction of classroom. Every classrooms must necessarily have a slightly different dynamics because they will also the consist of different students. And the classroom contrast, every classroom has a contracts in place of some explicit. The contracts are usually found in the syllabus, what the course is about, what has to be read when, what the prepare of that done, what the grading schemes, and students coming into the classrooms are well trying to fatigue and understand the both explits implies contracts. Teachers are typically out of the open about the syllabus and the quiet silence about the implications of the contract hot movement that the movements happen the sensor courses well as in the predictable social sciences and the humanities courses, the analytical courses, the teachers are to result and the learning's opportunity rather than the ignoring inflaming here at the Sorens. Here I concluded that the classroom means the classroom interaction meaningfully. Activity 3 is modern the education technology of our country use various visual aid in the classroom. They are effective on the learning of the students. Visual aids in the object of picture that evaluates the subject in thought. Types of visual aid actual object models, picture, photographs, maps, tables, diagrams. Object the use of object of a visual aids involve the bringing the actual object to demonstrate or during the speech. For example, a speech about typing known would be the more effective by bringing in graphs, pie graphs, and the scatter plots. And the graphs pie helps to the student to visualize the statistics, so they have to make a greater impact than just listening them verbally. Would a graph can easily become the during as a speech by audience and making the graph effective. Maps geographical areas are of interact to the speech. They often are the used of and when the speaking of different between the geographical areas showing the location of something. When maps are simple or under clear, they can be used to effective make about the certain area. Hospitals could show it lose location and key neighborhood, or a map could show the differences of disturbance of AIDS victims in North American African countries. Tables are columns and rows that are the genesis words, symbols, or data. Good tables are easy to understand. They are good way to compare fact to gain better world overall understanding the topic being discussed. In example, a table is a good choice to use when in the comparing the amount of rainfall in three countries each month. Tables are not very interesting or pleasing. The equal tables can be visual distraction. It is hard to read because the font of size is too small. Writing is too close together. Photograph and picture photograph are good tools to make emphasize a point or to explain to topic. When explaining the shanty towns in a third world country, it would be a beneficial to show a picture of one of the reader a better understanding how do people living a usual local photos, and also the can emphasize how your topic and it important in this audience area. Drawing a diagram can be used on photographs do not exactly whatever the speaker want to explain a drawing as a diagram of the curriculum system. It is not drawn correctly. A drawing can took be effective. This type of drawing will appear professional. Some of visual aids media chalkboard, whiteboard, poster board, handouts, video express, computer assessment effective. Teacher can make necessary modifications of the availability materials, design a new setup of material that fit to the method instruction. I will be able to attend a seminar with my colleges on a lesson planning and teaching methodology. The importance of the visual aids to be emphasized so that it can be used to be a supplementary tools in the teaching learning process. When the visual aids to as appropriate just to design, they can enhance the effective learningness and effective instruction. The entertainment, the visual aids are carefully the close and they essentially help to content the deliver rather than abstracted understanding the content material. Conclusion: here I concluded that the various visual aids objects, model, photographs, maps, tables, drawing, and some of visuals aids media are chalkboard, poster board, handwriting, video express, projection equipment, computer attested their effectiveness. ତେଣୁ ଏଠି ଆପଣଙ୍କର देखिए लास्ट कौन रही पेडागोजी स्कूल सोर्स एक्टिविटी 1 एजुकेशन इंट्रोडक्शन एजुकेशन इन इंडिया ओरशिप इज कैरिड थिंग्स एजुकेशन लाइक फिलोसफी इज ऑल्सो closely related to the human life. There are therefore being a important life activities according to the ancient stages when the cottons their persons. It gives insight on affairs. It teaches him how to justify the right meaning and the meaning. The word education has a very wide connotation. Simultaneously, the term of education derived from the Latin word educare. Educare means to raise, to nourish, to bring up, to narrate, train, to draw out, to lead out. Educare means the letter E means out, and the word mean duco means lead out, and they define education as a force which makes an individual self-relating and self-reliant. The vocational education is an employment education of Mahatma Gandhi. ତେଣୁ ଦେଖିବା ଲାଷ୍ଟ ପେଜଟି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ପୂର୍ବ ପେଜ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଦ ଫଲୋଇଂ ଆର୍ ସମ୍ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ an essential human victoria. It has been rightly said that the man is splendid, the steps, the reasoning solves, and necessity for society. Education necessity for society. Education fashion and novels for society. Partnership of health of education in healthy education. All school children, especially young girl before child, about important health, important partnership in between the ministers, masters with industry, including teaching a proper health participate with the curriculum program activities. The goal HTV project into aggressive suggest the comprehension approach to spread consistent health message better and in a manner orders the such a goal of this message better between the health of the mother and child will reach all its audience. It's Maharashtra 96% of villages have a primary school while only 41% have a secondary school. This program target the need of two things generally health all students primary schools, and the more specific educational health information and scientification formulation. Basic primarily education will be built of the school curriculum, and the program will also the specially targeted the children in school to teach the basic health information and the sanitation before the a child boring ages. And तापर कौन देखा female school attendance remaining the high ages from the 17 times when the reproductive rates begin to scare. Program management and implementation the education and health department, it will be forget the necessary partnership to make important things health educational program. In this program the voice of the speaker of the medium in voice, the pronunciation of the speaker was very clearly rightly, the speaker voice was clearly expression very via meaningful. And last page आपनकर program monitoring and evaluations. Initially the monitoring and develop evaluation will over the accuracy the curriculum created. Implementation in school it will be the also monitoring evaluation the content and the quality of lesson provided. The eventually monitoring will back and the recall at the undesirable training of the targeted audiences. Modification will be made. Conclusion here I concluded that the speech of the speaker in this program health educational as well as said that the audience students, parents and teachers the partnership will health education the meaning of designation and introduction. तेणु ये सरीगला आपणकर क्यारी फरवर्ड एक्टिविटी जोटा कि आपण मानकर सेकेंड सेमिस्टर समस्त कंपलसरी सब्जेक्ट. तेणु जिथे जहाँ लिखाए से सेम लिखु एवं ओनली केवल आपण मैंने तार जहाँ रोचे आप एक्टिविटी 1 2 3 4 5 से चेंज कर लिखे और ब्लैक कलम हेडिंग सबडिंग ब्लू कलर डेस्क्रिप्शन लिखे. एंड वीडियो लाइक करूँ, शेयर करूँ, सब्सक्राइब करूँ, पाखे बेल आइकन बटन क्लिक करूँ जहाँ न्यू वीडियो नोटिफिकेशन आप पाइपर एवं क्यारी फरवर्ड एक्टिविटी संपूर्ण भाव में वीडियो.